I love how Gordon shared. I'll just make some personal comments here about our chief. I love how he puts his heart into what he says and how he talks. It's rare to ever see him having a speech in his hand, because he does speak from the heart. Or he's a good memorizer, one of the two. Said good things for him, and now all of a sudden I take it away.
Bonjour, Denaway Maklandok. Was Sigijik, Dishakas Makanan Kodam, Maskana Wizibing Kunji. I'd like to give thanks to Carl and our opening prayer, our elder Dolores, Chief Advosis, and everyone else that's here this evening. My understanding is we have some people on the way in as well, so we can welcome them as they join us here this evening. Just wanted to, again, maybe acknowledge what Carl was saying in regards to my note reading ability isn't that great either. So that's probably why I don't carry the speech, is that I like to talk about the work that we're doing, and especially the work that we're doing here with the family law. As I've been kind of fairly open throughout the years with my own history as a 60 scoop survivor and a person that's been through the child welfare system myself. Taking control of the work that we're doing here today is very important, not only to myself, but survivors and also parents. We've had a lot of history throughout the, history of our colonization that brought us to where we are today, and understanding that, where we've had a lot of times where people were coming and telling us what was best for us. And I think that's the situation that kind of compounding the cumulative effects of us being, under what we understood as a treaty relationship with the Crown, and the steps that we're taking from that point to where we are today. So I'm going to go to some of the speaking notes, because they are really well written. But today does mark a very important milestone for our nation. It is about asserting what has always been our inherent right, the right to care for our children in a culturally appropriate way and to our standards. By creating such a law like this, the responsibility returns us as a nation. And this is one of the things that I think we've been slowly talking about within our community, is understanding our responsibility as a community when it comes to our children. And I think it's something that should never have been on a table to be negotiated away, or from our perspective being stolen away by having that responsibility of our children. So where we are currently, and this is the teachings that we have been learning from, is that our children are our precious gifts from our Creator. That's the thing that I've had to learn over the years, with my children, is understanding the responsibility that comes with them. In 2019, Canada passed a bill, C-92, an act respecting First Nations, Inuit, and Métis children, youth, and families. This was finally put into federal law with what Indigenous peoples across Canada have wanted for decades, to affirm and to recognize their jurisdiction over child and family services. Under this direction, our Chief and Counsel, a law development working group was formed, and they have been working diligently since fall of 2002, along with our legal counsel and technical assistants, which I'm sure they'll be introducing themselves here shortly. And of course, we are proud that we will be presenting and doing our first reading of our Wii Bimaadizewag Abinoojiiag Our Children Will Live law. Here's a snapshot of what our laws entails. Brokenhead will assert control. We will no longer be under the Southeast Child and Family Services. Brokenhead will be establishing its own entity. Our entity will be governed by a board of directors with an executive director running the day-to-day operations with an appropriate number of staff. There will also be the ability to create advisory councils for youth, elders, and to the broader community. The best interests of our children will be an overriding consideration in how this act is applied. their best interest is what the entire project is about. And what we've been stating from the outset is that our law will be focusing in on prevention versus apprehension. That's the goal of our agency. The best interest of this law will give us the ability to create a child and family advocate. This office will represent children in legal proceedings, to be a voice for them, and to deliver justice programs. To be clear again, our prevention services shall take priority over protection services, as long as it's deemed in best interest of the child. The views of the children must be taken into consideration when agreements on care are reached with families. In cases where, for whatever reason, a child is unable to remain with his or her parents, kinship care agreements will be prioritized. The child will remaining with the immediate family, and when that is not possible, an adult who has significant relationship with the child or his family, ensuring that the children is with those who love them and who will care for them. Through this law support can be given to the child who is aging out and help them as they become adults, with services available up to the age of 26. When there are issues that need to be addressed, we will convene family healing circles. These circles will be designed to work alongside families to address any issues and develop care plans. The goal here is to minimize the need for protection, to help families succeed, and to have the tools needed to succeed. Apprehension will be our final resort. We do not want that. Apprehension has plagued our communities for years, and we want to find pathways to ensuring that these are not needed. Any foster homes that operate must be authorized by Brokenhead's new child welfare entity. There will also be a locally run tribunal where people can appeal decisions made by the Brokenhead agency. There's a lot of information that will be presented here today, but I'd like to leave you with this. The journey is part of reconciliation and is also another step towards self-determination. We will soon be starting our official negotiations with Canada and Manitoba, and our sole focus in these meetings will be our children. This is a special moment, and we value your impact, your input, and your feedback today and as we move forward. We will keep in contact with you throughout the public engagement and various updates as well. With that, I'd like to say thank you to Miigwech for showing up today and being a part of our first reading of our law. Miigwech.
Thank you, Chief Gordon Bluesky.